Have you ever had to say goodbye to someone you love just for them to pull you back in before you have 1 second to breathe? Then you stay, not because it's right, but because you didn't have the fight left in you. It had already taken all the strength you had to say goodbye in the first place. And that makes so much sense. You've already spent every bit of your strength just to say goodbye. There's almost nothing left to protect and defend that boundary if they come back and pull at it. And that's not weakness, it's exhaustion. And when someone can easily undo your goodbye, it can make you feel like you've lost control of the choice you fought so hard to make. This is especially brutal in love because each time it happens, it reinforces a cycle. You gather all your energy to leave. They pull you back in, often without matching the weight of what it costs for you to walk away. You say, but the hurt deepens because you didn't truly want to undo the goodbye. You just didn't have any strength left to hold it. And it's like standing in the ocean, getting knocked over wave after wave. And at some point, you're too tired to keep bracing yourself. And you just have to let the water take you. This is a pattern. And it's a pattern that we can all map out. And that's what I would like to do. The cycle of undone goodbyes. 1. The buildup. You carry hurt, confusion, and neglect for a long time. You try to communicate, but the changes you need don't happen. The weight becomes unbearable emotionally, mentally, and even physically. You'll feel drained, invisible, and desperate for relief. 2. The goodbye. You muster up every ounce of energy to say, I can't do this anymore. It's not a casual decision, it's a survival decision. Saying it costs you deeply because you still care, and leaving is a loss too. You'll feel exhausted, heartbroken, but slightly relieved. 3. The undo. Instead of respecting your goodbye, they respond in a way that pulls you back in. A kind word or nostalgic memory, a promise or breadcrumb of attention, simply not resisting your presence. They don't necessarily give you what you needed, just enough to stop you from leaving. You'll feel confused, emotionally disarmed, too tired to keep holding your boundary. 4. The collapse. Because saying goodbye took all of your strength and you can't fight to keep it in place. You stay, but without feeling truly chosen or secure. The hurt begins building again, starting the cycle over. You'll feel numb, disappointed, quietly resentful, and still longing for the love you deserve. And why this is so hard to break is because You're deeply attached. The goodbye doesn't just cost you energy, it costs you a part of your sense of self. And without enough emotional reserves to reinforce it, the smaller and without enough emotional reserves to reinforce it, the smallest gesture can undo it. So we would need to work on two things to break it. We will have to build a stronger reserve of self support. So we're not running empty when we set our boundaries. We also need to create goodbye anchors, things you can hold on to after you leave, so it's harder for someone to pull you back in without real change. Building a stronger reserve of self support can really help as far as keeping these boundaries strong. So, the goal here is to keep your emotional bank account from going into overdraft so that when you set the boundary or say goodbye, you have the strength to keep it. Daily or weekly deposits you can make are micro moments of self trust. Do one thing, one small thing each day you said you do for yourself, even if it's just making your bed or drinking a glass of water. Energy mapping. Notice who and what leaves you drained versus who and what leaves you feeling restored, and spend more energy in the restoration areas. Connection outside of the relationship. Keep at least one safe person or place where you can be honest without fear of judgment. Show yourself proof of your worth. Keep a running note in your phone or in a book. Love my book and my pens. Anyways, so yes, keep a running note of moments that you were kind or resilient, creative, brave, to remind yourself of those things. Those things are what you really are. Goodbye anchors. These are things that you can hold on to after you say goodbye. So when they try to undo it, you have a clear reminder of why you left and what you need. An example of an anchor is a goodbye letter to yourself. Write down exactly what you felt, what you needed, and why you chose to leave. Address it to future me. So this way you can go back and read it whenever you're tempted to go back. A truth list. Bullet points of patterns that hurt you so you can't gaslight yourself into thinking it wasn't that bad. And a symbolic object. Something you can put away in a safe place that represents the boundary you're holding in place. A bracelet, key, paintbrush, anything. Or maybe even an accountability buddy, if you have someone, just one person you can tell, like, hey, if I'm doubting myself, please remind me of what I said I needed. So here's the key to this. If we build up our reserves before we reach the breaking point, our goodbyes will come from a place of clarity instead of collapse. And that's when you can hold it. Because you're not empty when you make it. I want to share my goodbye letter anchor that I wrote to myself. Dear future me, dear Autumn, I know you're hurting right now and you miss him. You're wondering if maybe you overreacted, if maybe it wasn't that bad, if maybe you could make it work. But I need you to remember the truth. You didn't leave because you stopped loving him. You walked away because the love you were being given could not keep you whole. Or you walked away because staying meant losing yourself piece by piece. But you've already lost too much. Remember all of the nights you cried yourself sick, the nights you begged for clarity and only got silence, or words that left you doubting your worth. Remember how exhausted you were from trying to hold the relationship together all by yourself. You deserve a love that meets you with the same depth that you give. You deserve someone who doesn't make you wonder what you mean to them because they show you every day without you having to ask. You deserve peace, the kind that doesn't break you just to keep it. And if he comes back with soft words, promises, or familiar comforts, pause. Read this letter again. Remember, you're not walking away from love. You're walking back home. I'm proud of you. I love you. And I've got us. Me, the one who chose to protect us. It's not about making yourself cold. It's about keeping your goodbye safe. So it can't be undone by someone who's not ready to love you the way you deserve. You are not hard to love. You're just ready to be loved right.